I'd like to apologize. I'm gonna go into my closet now. I'd like to make the video in here. I spend more time in my closet because now I'm building Legos in there. Restricts the flow of the materials. I'd like to have ample room to sit as well. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm a bit out of breath because I just took out some trash from my grandmother and I ran downstairs and thankfully there's an unopened bottle of water in this room, so I'm gonna open that. That should restore some energy. Okay. Now, time to discuss ideas. I farted. Okay, anyways, what I would like to discuss here is I put multiple notes. Yeah, okay. January 26th, 2025. That's when I put the first notes for it. And it's more so that I've realized that my actions in the past can likely be viewed as being conventionally bad. And I don't know. It's like, well, online I've done some things, and I don't exactly believe that many people would call the things that I've done online as the most moral actions. Like I've said slurs, though that's like the least of it, really. That's like just one thing off the bat, because a lot of people, they see someone someone says a slur online and they want to burn them at the stake. I don't really get it. It's so small compared to what else can be done. But anyway, yeah. Like I'm trying to find specific instances because I forget so much of the bad things I do, and like I just can't really think of anything. I've done a lot. Now people would probably say gaslighting the entire family as something that's bad, tons of other things. I wish I could list them, but I can't fucking remember. Okay. Well, that's the first one. And I guess the next thing that I wrote about is just desensitization, which sort of ties in with the other thing, because I'm so desensitized to it that I can't even fucking list it, because I forget. But, I've desensitized myself to nearly everything. Pretty much. The only thing that kind of gets me is like instances of rape, because I find those pretty fucked, and so on. But other than that, I'm desensitized to pretty much everything. Like, initially, it probably like began with things. As a child, bad words. Those would be the first thing. the words you can't say, fuck, shit, bitch, nice, man, and other words like that. You can't, like that's the first thing I'm like, oh yeah, that's bad. But over time, I started saying it. Though I don't tell it to my family. I've been very good at keeping that hidden. But what I'd initially do is I'd make the middle finger and I'd stick it into the car seat so they couldn't actually see, and I'd just keep it there for several minutes. So it sort of desensitized me to all that, and then later on, like, I start saying the words and whatever, but that's just the entry level. I've been desensitized to drugs, I've been desensitized to gore, I've been desensitized to violence, I've been desensitized to porn, I've been desensitized to everything. And that's just something, and I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to think of anything. Now, for the next topic I'll discuss here. Why won't it enter the passcode, please? Okay, good. So this is another note I wrote, and I wrote weird seeing looks maxing shit. And it's sort of an odd thing to talk about here, but on TikTok I see these videos and it's all like it's over and they show all the conventionally attractive people and all that, but I guess I would be considered conventionally attractive, yet I've been a part of the whole incel thing, sort of. It's just interesting seeing how it's all so discouraging to the humans. And I don't really think people should discourage others like that. It's a little cruel, I suppose. I'm sorry, I really just don't have much to say. Oh, well, now I have another thing to say. My chest has been hurting a little bit recently, and it's a bit mysterious and potentially intriguing for some. Like, whoa, why is the chest hurt? This is a mystery I have to get to the bottom of. Like, that perhaps that'll bring intrigue. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Bring intrigue and chest hurting, it doesn't make sense. I named a mixtape once and I was like, my chest hurts is just one of the things, because while I was making the mixtape, my chest hurt. It was when I had this YouTube channel and I gave myself a quota to pump out videos, so like even when my chest was hurting and I didn't care that much, I was like, oh, I gotta make this video, I have to, it needs to happen, it must happen. And ultimately I succeeded, it happened. I achieved my victory there, truly an ultimate victory. I wonder what I'll do tomorrow. Okay, yeah, tomorrow I have to watch movies with my grandmother. She's now forcing into being this thing that happens on Saturdays every other Saturday, and I don't want it. I hope it stops. And we were watching one of the movies. It was about an octopus. It was the first one. I haven't done the second one yet. I don't know, I just felt a little creeped out. And it's probably just because like how fucked my head is, but I had this small feeling that she was trying to hit on me or something while we were watching the movie. And I really hope not. I don't know, I just had that small feeling. It's probably nothing, but yeah. She was being oddly touchy, things like that. And I just hope it was nothing and it won't continue. Anyways, the next thing I would like to talk about here is what would it be? I have to think about this. Come on, think. I can't think. I can't think for anything. Okay. The next topic that I wrote down, Fortnite antithesis. When I'd say 2018, I was 10 years old, and I just got into either 4th or I believe 5th grade. 5th grade. That would make sense, I think. Yeah, that actually fits in, because 6th grade was when COVID happened for me. And I wasn't really in school that much for the second semester, which would have been in 2020. So, yes, it was 5th grade. Now by 4th grade, that's right when I stopped just talking in school. I stopped seeing any need to commune with those animals, so I just stopped talking to them. And after that occurred, what do I have to think about? What do I have to relay? After that occurred, I began to think of people less. And one thing that these kids kept on doing was they'd keep on doing Fortnite dances. They'd obsessively talk about the game. And that led to me seeing Fortnite as an enemy of mine, because it represented them. It represented the ones that it's like sometimes they teased me, but it wasn't that much. Still, I fucking hated them. The passion and that action, those dances just really got to me. Shows people. I'll never really be able to interact with people, ever. Ever. Well, most people. That's what I'd say, most people. Because I doubt I can interact with most people, but I can interact with a few. My family and my girlfriend. That's essentially all the people I can really interact with. Fuck, oh no, I was building something and it collapsed anyways. The only people I can really interact with are was talking about. Well, I see it. We're talking about, oh yeah, my middle school friend group, that was amazing. I didn't have a middle school friend group. I didn't even have an elementary school friend group. Nor do I have a high school one. They're talking about like the last day of high school, that's gonna be so fun, so chill. I won't even have a last day of high school. That's because I'm just gonna never go again soon. In person, I'm not gonna do that. Though, what I do fear is that one of these days, I am going to have to enter into a trade school, and I'll be physical. Most likely, I don't like colleges, but at least those have the option of not being there in person. Which I'd say is the only real pro of college. There aren't really pros in general. Like, you do get the whole shiny degree that you can barely use and all that, but yeah. Because I'm just going to be forced into it by parental figures. Oh, and yeah, my state drafted gay laws to where that's now required. Everything sucks. Yeah, everything does suck. Now, it will continue to be like this for a long time, because that's just how things are. They suck, and they continue to suck until everyone dies. Things are so unfortunate, but what can I do? What can some strange autistic weirdo do? Nothing. And it's not like they really deserve anything anyways. They deserve their downfall. The others who facilitate such things. I just get lost in thought here, I guess. Now, this is an observation that I made recently after waking up. And it was that my dreams are like Adult Swim. And by that I mean, if you've ever watched Adult Swim, you know how it's just like littered through bumpers, and then one thing kind of plays that's more consistent, like a show, but still the show is kind of weird, and all that. It's just very weird, and there's lots of segments and interspersed. It's like that. It's like it's a TV station just switching from dream to dream, and little things in between it that are kind of like the bumpers. And it's all very weird. I've talked about this dream before in private, but I had a dream where I had the desire to kill a bat that I captured and kill it in the shower. Now, I'd rather not go into too much detail, because the next part, I guess lots of people would see it as disgusting or bad, but anyways, I actually don't end up killing it in the dream, but the thing just becomes infested with these botfly-like things, these roach-like things, and I go into my closet, which everything is still carpeted in my room. My room hasn't been carpeted in a while, like a year. Wow. For 10 months. But anyways, yeah, it just hasn't been definitely hasn't been carpeted in a year. Anyways, I put it to my leg and my leg just becomes filled with all these cockroaches, and it's painful, but I don't really mind, and that's pretty much the dream. Anyways, that dream is based off of an actual desire I had that was semi-recent to dream. The dream was like a week ago. But I'd say a month before that dream, I started going outside, and it was only like a 3-day duration. Yeah. But during this duration, I had the urge to kill an animal, more specifically a squirrel, not out of any particular malice, and I wanted to kill it with a knife. I wanted to capture it, and I wanted to bring it into my shower to kill it. And that was because I just sort of wanted to see what killing would be like. I've killed a lot of bugs in the past, but I want to see what it would be like with something bigger. And I'm saying it wasn't really maliceful. I didn't want to torture it or anything. I just wanted to kill it, one and done, see it die. But to me, it's not maliceful. That's just the best word to describe it. It's not that. It's not religious either, but you could sort of see some weird religious connotations in it. It's just like, I'm helping you. Maybe? I can't even wrap my head around it myself, but, like, this has to happen. Like, that's what I'd say to the squirrel. It has to happen. Why does it sound like fucking Dexter? No, that's not. No, I mean like a fate. Like, a fate or something. I just have to do this, and when you're dead, you know that your purpose is served. But it wouldn't know anything. It never knows anything. It's not even conscious in the first place. At all. But it doesn't matter. And I don't really direct my, urges towards anything, towards animals, really. I'll just be like, I'll do this and I'll kill it as a test. But I don't really want to go out hunting and killing them. I would probably dissect it afterwards out of curiosity, but that's about it. Recently I dissected an octopus, and that was interesting. Well, I didn't actually do most of the dissecting because I was forced into a group. I didn't really talk either, so it made me kind of weird them out. And, like, said, hey, you can cut off a tentacle. Anyone want to cut off a tentacle? And I got a tentacle, and with the scalpel, I just started sawing through it like a cartel video. You know how the cartel videos, whenever they do their beheadings, they don't keep their knives sharp. They always keep it dull. I guess that's part of the punishment for whatever the person did. So there's like multiple, like they practically saw into it because it's dull. Like cut through, and usually within 10 seconds they got it off. But yeah, that's what I was sort of mimicking there, to cut off the tentacle. Like, oh yeah, there's a tentacle. That is, one time I dissected a frog in like 5th grade or something, and I was really excited. And yeah, it's interesting. There's this organ in frogs. I forgot what it's called, but it kind of looks like spaghetti. And I think I saw some things, like it was a Reddit video saying forbidden spaghetti or something. I'll try looking up what it is. The forbidden spaghetti. Frog organs. Okay. What? Okay. Yeah, it is in here. And I guess those are the small intestines. No, it's inside of the organ. I know that. If I look up frog spaghetti, maybe I can find it. No. It's frogs eating something, but there's no spaghetti. Who touched my spaghetti? Yeah, there's no spaghetti. That's unfortunate. But yeah, it's always in my mind. When we also opened up its stomach, and there was a little bit of a cricket in it, so it actually died with something. Yeah. It's interesting, I suppose. My recording just randomly ended in the past, and I don't even know how much time elapsed in between that. But I think it was only like, at most 2 minutes, probably like a minute. Most likely 30 seconds. So barely anything was lost, but I forgot what I was talking about, so that's unfortunate. Anyways, I still think I had something on the notes to talk about and discuss here. Oh. Yes, I definitely do have something to discuss here. I remember in the past my grandmother asked me about my political affiliation or something, maybe around 2017. And I said libertarian. I didn't even really know what a libertarian was at the time at all, and I didn't know that for years afterwards. I actually only learned that years afterwards. But anyways, the reason I said libertarian was because of a libertarian bootman, but that isn't his name. I have to look up his name, because there was a politician, and he wore a boot on his head, and he was an old man, and he went into multiple elections, and I think in the 2016 election, he went as a libertarian, so that's why I said libertarian. But yeah, he's what made me like, oh yeah, libertarian, because that's him. He must be what all libertarians represent. I obviously didn't know much about politics anyways. Boot, man, politician. Vermin Supreme, yes, him. It's because of Vermin Supreme, and I don't even think I ever showed it to her. So she's just left kind of confused, or maybe I did, and that makes her even more confused. But anyways, what I'd like to do and talk about, actually I have other things here to discuss. I have one more note, I think, maybe a little more. Oh, I had a note written saying month slideshows, and I was confused, but I think it's me talking about, or me noting, how in camera rolls it automatically puts something for you, like pictures from November or something, and it's strange to me. Like, whoa. There's November. It's all just pictures of myself looking at the camera with a blank expression. So, I don't know what to think of that. It's like, yeah, well, I don't have much to say right now, I guess. Oh, I just got texted. I love you. You're so awesome. I love you too. I suppose I will type that. I love you too. I am still recording, though I believe I yes, I will finish soon. I don't have much more to discuss. And this is already getting to be one of my longer videos. It's actually just past the 30-minute threshold. So that's wonderful, but there is no 30-minute threshold. I always have them done usually 20 minutes. But now time just flies and flies and flies and flies. But I'm not actually going to finish it soon because I realized that I have 2 more things to discuss, and the first one is actually going to be sort of lengthy. Now recently I was, I'd say about yesterday? It was probably yesterday, in all likelihood. Actually, no, it definitely wasn't yesterday, it was 2 days ago. Grandmother chair is what I wrote. That's just a general thing to recognize the whole interaction. So I was talking with my grandmother in the kitchen, and we were discussing things, and I brought up that, I'm not sure if I ever talked about this, but in the past a hole appeared in my wall as a child, a hole which I didn't create, and I stood by that I never created this hole, and it was likely created by workers or something, or rats or whatever. In fact, it was most probably a rat, because I think I did see rats running around my room like once or twice, and that would be around the time the hole formed. But of course, they never believed me for shit. But yeah. So, I tell her, like, yeah, it was also like practically made to give a false confession to her about the whole thing, because she just would never believe me. And over the years, I've still maintained, bringing it up randomly, that I didn't do it. And I recently just brought it up. I didn't do that. Why did you think I did it? But she still thinks I did it. Like, it's been 10 years, and I'm still maintaining that I haven't done this. How do you not get it? I didn't say it that aggressively, but it was sort of what I was thinking. And yeah, she's like very passionate about it, and like just confused. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you got." I mentioned her being oddly passionate about it. She's like, "You gotta be passionate about it." And she's on this whole tirade, and she's like worried about what I do in the future with my room when I live on my own, and all that, and just fucking slop what she was saying. But anyways, I mentioned another injustice that befell upon me. And in the past, I went to, her mother was staying, she was like 80 or something, or she was still 80 something at the time when she came over. I had been 10 years old. And so as a 10-year-old, I head over, and I go into the guest room, and I go into the shower, and I go in a chair. She showered, and she sat on this chair, and the water would go on her, all that. I think this was actually several months before she was even there. And I removed a screw from the chair, because like the screws looked weird, and I was like, oh wow, looks like you can easily remove that. And I just removed the screw, and I put it in a drawer. I actually thought that whole thing was a dream, but until recently. But yeah, I put it in there, and later the chair collapses on her, and she could have very well died, but that didn't happen. And if she died, they would have blamed a murder on me, or manslaughter. So, that, though I feel like it would have been cleared, most likely, because an actual court of law would be more sensible. Anyways, Uh, yeah. So the reason I did it was just because like the screw looked cool and I put it away. I didn't even think of the grandmother at the time. But my grandmother, she's like, she saw it like after the whole incident. She sees the screw in the drawer, and she comes up with this thing that I did it out of a prank, like epic prank. A frail old woman has a chair collapse on her in the shower. I don't get it how she could think that I'd do that. Because, like, I was 10 years old, but by that time I was definitely intelligent enough. I know I was intelligent enough to be like, yeah, that would obviously kill someone. And I know what killed people at that time. I definitely know. So, of course, I would not do that to her. And I told her, like, there was no prank involved, but I was pretty much grounded for the whole summer because of that. And that contributed to one of my greatest bouts of depression. And I became really suicidal. Thank you, grandmother. Thanks, grandmother. Basically pushed me into one of the worst areas of my life. Because she just could not believe that I'd be good enough. She couldn't believe that I'm good enough to not do something that would kill an old woman. That she thinks that I'm bad enough that I do something like that as a kid, as a 10-year-old. That would obviously kill someone, and as a child would probably know that. She thinks that I would do that. Hell, but she was also mad at me for another thing that I did and I didn't even remember, but in the past there was this dollhouse thing, and she put it really high up in my room. She told me not to go and play with it. But why the fuck did she put it in my room then? But anyways, yeah. So of course I crawl up really high, and it breaks. Falls on the floor, breaks. Woman, the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Like, and that would have been fine. Like, I would have probably played with it a little bit, but not that much, because it's like a dollhouse and all that. I just put it as like a little thing to put my action figures in. My action figures. I don't even really have action figures. I just have these little toy things, but I just used it as like a little setting for something like that. It would not have broke if she just didn't put it on such a pedestal. Literally. Yeah. She's still blaming me for that, I guess. Another... I don't know what else to talk about. No. But oh yeah, whenever I mentioned that to her, that whole thing, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. Her face immediately changed. She's like, that's personal. You can't do that. Yeah. I don't exactly understand that either. Yes, yeah, your mother almost died, but oh well. It can still be discussed, I suppose. I don't understand people. Emotions, all that. I didn't actually say that to her. I just went a little catatonic and I stared at a wall. Not really a wall, but I stared off into space. And I became really catatonic. And she just kept on talking. The only real dressing that she did to my catatonic state was, "Can you stop that?" or something like that. That was all she said. And I still continued that catatonic state for like seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds afterwards, after she said to stop. And she doesn't get anything. I don't get anything. Well, my father, he showed me recently this video of Elon. He isn't that bad, but he showed me this video of Elon, and I think it was during the Trump inauguration, and it was just like him looking around and moving his head and all that. It's like, what's he doing? He's stimming. That's what I say. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely stimming. It's like, what's stimming? Your son is literally autistic as fuck, and you don't even know what stimming is. No one here actually knows anything about my conditions at all, and I hide a lot of them. Well, I don't really hide them, they just are so fucking retarded that I can't see it. I can't see anything unless I express it all for them, which I was actually planning to do, but I decided against that. Anyways, I think now would probably be a good time to end the video. Perhaps. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you listened, whoever you are. Goodbye.